Welcome to the LA Hoops and Homers podcast, your home for everything Dodgers, Angels, Lakers, maybe not Clippers this week, because we're going to be talking
Clippers. Good job, Clippers.
Western Conference Finals.
Clippers did so good against the Nuggets. What did you think of that one, Derek?
You know what?
Wow.
I think it's pretty well documented. We are both big Lakers fans, and we did not appreciate the dubbing of the Clippers as the super team as soon as it was put together. So it felt pretty good to see them see that old Clipper curse rear its ugly head and get them eliminated. 50 seasons they haven't made a conference finals.
Yeah, 50 seasons. I was just to bring that up. That's
insane.
By far the only team. It's been half a century. That's crazy to think that a team has never made the Western Conference Finals. I read a stat that they're 0 for 8, I'm pretty sure, in games to clinch.
Yeah.
That's absurd. I mean, in Houston, when they had Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and all those guys, J.J. Redick, Jamal Crawford, I mean, that was a really good team. I don't know if they're big contenders, but I think they definitely should close that series out. But they lost to Josh Smith somehow.
Yeah.
But now this is a team that should have won it all, and they didn't beat the Denver Nuggets. Not to say the Nuggets are a bad team, but when you have a 3-1 lead like you did,
you have
more talent by far, and you have multiple games with multiple double-digit leads. That's
I
mean, that's
I
just
think
something.
we know the Clippers had a couple very big flaws. A lack of a good true playmaker was something that they needed all year. It was just so hard for them to get shots. But really, I think it all comes down to chemistry and them just taking the regular season so lightly.
They didn't really seem like they ran plays too much. Yeah.
Yeah, so
they never seem to click. I feel like their team has a lot of drama. Anyways, we'll talk about this in a later episode about what to do with the Clippers. We're here for episode 8. Give you a rundown of now the Lakers and the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. Nuggets I had as a sleeper to begin the season. Did not think, though, that they'd make it to the Western Conference Finals and seeing the amount of talent that was in the Western Conference this year.
Yeah. I think a lot of people thought that Denver would be the number 1 seed. At least I thought they'd be the number 1 seed because of their depth. I thought they were really well suited for the regular season. Maybe not so much the playoffs.
I thought they'd be a 1 seed?
I thought they'd be the 1 seed because of the continuity that they had. The Lakers and Clippers both getting all their new guys the next season, and just the depth and youth that Denver has. But I did not think that they would make it very far in the playoffs. Now they are facing the Lakers, and I think that the Lakers, my spoiler alert is that it's not going to be that tough of a series. And that's my hot take. But Denver is a really exciting team.
I'm saying it's going 6.
You think it's going to go 6? I think it goes 5.
How quick do you think? I'm 6.
Okay.
You say 5?
Yeah,
I mean, I
guess
argue
we're
with you
going
that
right in with our predictions. And normally this comes at the end. We're just too excited right now. This is like Christmas Eve. We're so excited.
This is just like
I don't think it'll take more than 5.
I did not.
I think that
you don't have a stopper for LeBron.
Yeah, we played
like,
them.
It just comes down to that for me.
Yeah. They're just not as athletic as we are. Jokic and Murray are really good players, but neither one has the athleticism to stop Anthony Davis. And every time the Lakers played him in the regular season, including in Denver, which is one of the hardest places to play, given the altitude and the home crowd, they just handled them so easily. I think that I just see that the Lakers – I definitely think the Lakers will win this series, no matter what. But I also think that they'll handle their business pretty quickly. So you're on board with them winning, right? But you think it'll take a little.
I'm on board in 6. Yeah. So one more than you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I see the Lakers winning. I don't see it going 7. I really don't. I think it goes 6 at the most. I'm sticking to 6. I just think the Nuggets now have played their confidence. I don't think there's a more confident team. One of the most confident teams to ever exist right now coming back.
There's no pressure with them.
Like, there's no pressure. They have nothing to fear now. They've played 14 games, though, in the bubble.
Yeah. Some of their guys have played double the
And
amount of
I
minutes that our
think
guys
that's
have
gonna.
played.
I mean, Jamal Murray's legs are not. They're gonna have to give up eventually.
Yeah,
But I think I just wanted to run down some stats for you.
hit me.
So right now, through 10 games in the playoffs, Anthony Davis's PER is 31.88 and LeBron James's is 30.61.
Wow.
Now, to give some reference to that, the top player efficiency rating in NBA history was Michael Jordan at 27.8, I believe. I
Wow.
mean, so you're looking at guys that are putting up historic performances as we expect. Granted, it's a 10-game sample size, but
But it's a
I mean, you
playoffs.
compare that to yeah, you compare that to what the Nuggets have. I mean, Jamal Murray and Jokic are putting up 25.2 and 25.1 on PER. And that's kind of what's going to lead your team there. I think a big factor in this series too will be Rondo again. He's
Yeah.
been playing very well since he returned. Do you want to speak more about that?
Yeah. Rondo and LeBron, I think that the big thing here is going to be pick and roll, getting to the hoop. I read some stat that Jokic is the worst pick and roll defender in the NBA, and he's given up something like over a point and a half per possession on those
Oh
drives,
my
which is like
gosh. I
insane.
mean, he's
So
incredibly slow.
I think if you can involve him in offense, the goal is just to get him winded as much as possible, stop him from being such a factor on
Mm-hmm.
offense. Because I mean, he is one of the most crazy players we've seen in the NBA in a long time with his
His
passing
playmaking
ability.
ability is incredible.
It's unheard of for a guy who
Yeah.
can just see over
Um,
everyone because he's 7 feet tall. Yeah.
yeah, I
So
mean, just that pass to I was gonna. Did you see the behind the back pass to Jamal Murray
yeah,
at the end of the game?
yeah. I mean,
And
just
Patrick Beverly got
the
smacked in the face.
he's so daring. The shots, the passes that he makes are like passes you would make in a pickup game. Like, and this is the the, the game 7. And he's still doing
Exactly.
this. One thing I think is going to be an interesting thing is who is going to guard Nikola Jokic, and I have a theory, but I want to hear what you think first.
All right. So with who guarding Jokic?
Yeah,
Again, I think the Lakers take game one as an experiment.
yeah,
They've been playing Anthony Davis a lot at the 5 in the Houston series. Now I see with Jokic on the floor, they start to deploy JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard more.
mhm,
I'd say obviously Anthony Davis was almost Defensive Player of the Year this year. You could possibly argue that he could have won the award. So he is your best defender on the team. At the same time, knowing that, I think you do try to double Jokic a lot, try to deflect those passes, make Paul Millsap shoot threes. Because I think Denver's most dangerous when Jokic has the ball in the post. He has so
mhm.
many options. His scoring ability is insane. And you have two long guys in JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, and they platoon them all the time to save their minutes and save their energy. So he's going to have those fresh legs on Jokic to kind of put a body on him. If JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard aren't able to get the job done, then I would see Anthony Davis kind of taking more of that primary role on him.
Yeah. So my thought is, I'm sure we'll see the Lakers throw a bunch of guys at him, try to make him uncomfortable. I think that a good matchup might be sticking LeBron on him, because
Hmm.
LeBron is a good defender in the post. They did it in Denver, I believe in the first game they played them this season. Down the stretch, they stuck LeBron on him, and LeBron blocked his shot a couple of times coming out of the post.
Yeah.
And I just think that, for a guy that is as big as Jokic, LeBron is a good guy to stick on him to try to knock him down. And I even heard some of that Denver might consider putting Jokic on LeBron and just sagging off and forcing him to make jumpers, which, in my opinion, I say let that happen because LeBron's jumper has been really good recently. So
I know, especially
it'll
in the
be
playoffs
interesting.
too. But I just think with Denver's offense, you have I don't know with Jamal Murray being able to have. I mean, throughout this entire bubble experience, you've seen his shot making ability be insane.
Yeah.
You said it in the Utah series, coming in the Clipper series, and Jokic. Well, they're really the pinnacles of your offense. You really want to see guys like Jeremiah Grant shoot, Paul Millsap shoot. Paul Millsap's a little bit older too. I keep picking on him.
Yeah.
And a couple of the other guys like a Monte Morris, a Torrey Craig, especially certain guys that I mean you'd be comfortable living with shooting. Because I have no doubt the Lakers are going to score points on this team.
Yeah.
But what's going to end the series quick is can you defend them?
Let's talk about what I think might be the biggest X factor for the Nuggets if they have any chance of beating the Lakers, and that is Michael Porter Jr., the 6'10" Kevin Durant light type player. Um,
Okay.
he is interesting because he's got we've seen him have incredible shot making abilities and athleticism, and the Lakers have struggled with big wings in the regular season, but he's been horrible on defense and he's made a lot of rookie mistakes.
He's one of the worst defensive wings in the entire league. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think his good play will outplay the mistakes he makes, but the Lakers have struggled against the Clippers with their big wings and the Celtics with their big wings. So I think that if he can play really well, he might be able to win them a game or two. Again, I don't have much faith in the Nuggets winning the series
All I'm
at
saying,
all.
I've okay, so in the 14 games that Porter has played, he's averaged 11 points in 24 minutes or 25 minutes, which is really good for a rookie. I'm not denying that, but again, you can't have Porter guarding LeBron.
Yeah,
And I think
absolutely.
if Jokic is guarding LeBron, I just think LeBron is going to be able to blow by him.
Yeah.
Or you're just opening up that passing lane, which is, I think, one of the worst options you can do on defense.
Yeah.
But Porter, if he's your X factor, he's going to be averaging at least 15 a game, an efficient 15. And that's a hot take, my friend. I just don't
Yeah.
see it happening.
No, I don't think it's going to happen at all. But I'm just saying, look, I hardly think it's going to go to a fifth game. But if it were to go into a long series, there's got to be a third star. And I don't know if Paul Millsap is not going to be that guy. Gary Harris is not going to be that guy. I think the only guy that could be a third star is Michael Porter Jr. So the Lakers haven't played against them with him being part of the rotation. Early in the season, he wasn't part of the rotation. So
Yeah.
I think that, he could pose a little bit of a matchup problem on offense. But again, his really horrible defense will hopefully allow Lakers to get a lot of easy buckets.
And I think, too, where the Lakers excel is their age, while it can be slowing down at times. But they are very wise. You have two of the greatest basketball minds in Rondo and LeBron on the floor.
Yeah.
I think even then they're going to know how to defend Porter.
Yeah.
Not to just destroy Porter, but again, he's a rookie.
Yeah.
LeBron's a 17-year vet, probably one of the smartest players to ever live and play the game. There's nothing new that Porter's doing that LeBron hasn't seen. And I think a lot of the Laker members have seen. You have Anthony Davis, Dwight Howard. They're all guys that are, up there. One guy I wanted to get to on the Lakers in this series, again, is Dwight Howard.
Yes.
He was my pick, a sleeper to even begin these playoffs, someone that I think wanted to resurrect his career. He's been a great role. First of all, I just want to say props to you, Dwight. You were great attitude watching you on the bench. It entertained me. I go back. Today I actually watched a rant that Jeff Van Gundy had on Dwight Howard when he was with the Lakers in the first stint, talking about how he wanted more touches and just his selfishness and not being able to take responsibility. And you're seeing kind of this night and day where he just sat out an entire series. But
complete opposite.
Yeah, it's incredible. And not only just doing it, but he's embracing the role that he's at right now.
Yeah. You don't see the Clippers guys doing that. Like JaVale and Dwight got no minutes. Both those guys got big minutes. Dwight Howard could have been a sixth man of the year candidate if the NBA had looks at impact instead of just numbers. Dwight was one of the most impactful guys off the bench. He didn't get a minute after the first game until garbage time in the last game. But and they're celebrating every time. JaVale's falling over.
Yeah. Well, 48 minutes they're screaming on the sidelines. And
that's how you know there's chemistry there.
But I really want to see Dwight Howard. I know he's going to get minutes this series. I really hope Vogel gives him some minutes. I know Morris got hot too, so I think Vogel might want to go to Morris more in this series than he normally would. But considering that Jokic or Denver does play centers, they do play a little bit not super traditional style basketball, but a lot more traditional than what Houston's strategy was. I really think Dwight's. I don't know.
Yeah,
I want to see early. I remember in the beginning of the season, Dwight Howard was everyone was blowing up because he's a monster.
Yeah,
I mean, he's playing 15 minutes, averaging 8 and 8, putting up.
You know what? I think Dwight Howard will be a good matchup with Plumlee when he comes off the bench. Jokic. I think if he's on Jokic, he can have some success, but Jokic is really good at drawing fouls, and Howard can be pretty over aggressive at times. So we'll have to see if he can tone that down and watch his elbows and stuff. But against Plumlee, who's also a great passer, Plumlee is a very underrated player. He's a nice center off the bench for Denver, but he's not the threat to score at all like Jokic is. So I think when in those times when Denver goes away from Jokic into Plumlee, you can put Dwight in there, and then on a short stretch to frustrate Jokic and get physically beat him down a little bit, you can get Dwight in there as well. I think Dwight could be a big part of this series.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about a third guy all the time with the Lakers, and you have Anthony Davis, LeBron, both made first team All NBA, by the way, so congrats to them.
Yeah,
but you're always looking for that third guy in the series to kind of lift him up. I think the 2 stars they already have is much better than Denver has already, so they're already at a disadvantage. But I would pick Howard as my third guy. Last series, I believe, was Rondo. That kind of got them over the hump, per se. Yeah. And once they're clicking, it was just game over, right?
Yeah.
So my pick is Dwight Howard for this series.
Yeah.
I really hope J.R. Smith does not get any minutes. I'm sorry, J.R. Watching you just makes me want to cry.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Garbage time maybe, but Rondo's been far better in those minutes for sure. So we'll see how that goes. If you want, we've got some questions, and we can have another one of our hit new segment, All In. I got some questions to ask, okay? So let me pull these up.
Let's do it.
Okay, here we go. Big shout out for our new segment. My uncle, Tom Leonard, he made us the song on the spot. So big shout out for that. We like that. And so, all right, here are my questions. This is a good one. This is a good first question. Will a player get a triple-double in game 1? And if so, who will it be? Pretty much the only question is it LeBron or Jokic, right? Maybe Anthony Davis, but what do you think?
Anthony Davis. Has Anthony Davis got a triple-double all season?
Didn't he have one with blocks?
I don't think he has.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. But, yeah, so probably maybe Rondo. Rondo's been like an assist away from a triple-double the last couple of games in Houston.
I know he's like 888. Oh, yeah.
So you think there'll be a triple-double or no?
If a triple-double were to happen, it's LeBron, game 1.
Over Jokic?
I said game 6 or 6 games. Yeah, I'd be over Jokic. I might want to go Jokic. I'm thinking about the series a little bit more.
Yeah.
And you talk about triple-doubles, and I know 6, but this whole idea of they came out, beat Houston in 5, swept the past 4 games. I think LeBron's in killer mode now. He is ready to – he saw the Clippers lose. He is feeling high about himself. He's like, this is my opportunity. I'm saying triple-double, game 1, LeBron. Changing it, they're sweeping.
Okay. Wow, you changed so fast. Wow. Okay, well, that's fine. You know what?
That's my hot take, just to make it exciting.
Okay, just to make it exciting, I think it's going to be Jokic.
You think it's going to be Jokic?
I'm gonna say it's going to be Jokic because
you think it's going to be Jokic?
I think just to make it interesting, I think you're going to be wrong and I'm going to be right. It's going to be Jokic, and that's pretty much all the reason I'm choosing Jokic, so that I'm choosing differently from you and that I'll be right.
Do you think Denver's losing this game?
Yeah, I think he'll have a triple-double. I think he'll put up 18, 12, and 10, and the Lakers will still win. Okay, question number 2.
Go.
Question number 2.
Go ahead.
What player will score the most points in the game? Either team. This is an interesting one.
Wait, who's score the most points in the game?
Yeah, who's going to score the most points in the game, either side?
I'm picking LeBron again.
LeBron? Okay, that's a good pick. I think that the
I'd
pick would be Jamal, right?
I'd say
Jamal
LeBron
Murray's
or Jamal
been.
Murray, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's Anthony Davis. I think LeBron's gonna have a big
Okay.
assist game, and AD's gonna put up about 38, and I think it's gonna
I
lead also.
I think Anthony Davis, your idea, I kind of thought about that beforehand, but I also think it's going to take a couple of games to get used to playing against big men again, since
Okay,
AD was guarded by PJ Tucker for so long.
that's true.
Just getting used to that matchup and what they're going to do.
I
I
just
just say
think,
LeBron because I really believe he's coming out to kill. Like he's coming. He wants to make a statement now. He saw the Clippers blow that lead. It wouldn't surprise me. I think this is too. Like we can talk about this soon, but he's coming out to go.
yeah, I agree. I
And
just
their
think
favorite in the series.
with how bad Denver's pick and roll defense is, he could get a lot of easy shots in the paint off of pocket passes from Rondo and LeBron. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. That'll be something to watch for. And our
We'll see.
last question. This is just a straight up spread. The Lakers are a 6.5-point favorite. Will the Lakers cover?
Over.
I
I'm going all
say
in
they
on LA,
cover.
baby.
I say they cover. I'm
All
going
in.
all in.
All in.
Yeah, we're all in.
All in.
They win game
I'm
one.
excited for this.
It's
They
gonna
win
be
game
fun.
2, they win game 3, and they win game 4. And you know what I think about is like for the longest time in LeBron's career, and I know I might just sound like a big LeBron lover right now, but if you look into his entire progression over the past decade, he's never been like truly favored in a finals or in a playoff series in so long.
Yeah, not in
Where
at
it's
least
like,
5 years, 6 years.
I mean, I'm thinking back to like 2012 when he played the Thunder in the finals.
Yeah,
Because even then,
even
like
that
the
was a
Eastern
good
Conference
team.
Finals, you had those really tough Celtics teams.
Yeah,
You had like those really tough Celtics teams. You had the tough Spurs teams. I guess maybe Toronto. I don't know, but that was more of a one-man wrecking crew and LeBron in Cleveland when
yeah.
others wouldn't show up. But I just think now it's like you see Miami and
At this point,
Boston in the
Lakers
East.
are the favorite.
I think they're the favorite, and like that's something that I think he recognizes that he is the favorite to win the title now. He doesn't have to face a juggernaut of Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. He doesn't have to face a 4 Hall of Fame team with Ginobili, Kawhi, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan. It's a young. If they're beating Denver, you're facing either Jimmy Butler, All-Star, no doubt, good coaching by Eric Spoelstra,
Great coaching.
but in facing a young Jason Tatum. And again,
Again, I
great
want to
coaching
say
on both sides. But
this is not a as some people, prominent people in the media have already said, it's a cakewalk. I don't think it's a cakewalk. But I trust LeBron and Rondo and Danny Green to be able to stay in the moment. They're favored to win it, but you clearly can't look past Denver. Like, they just came back 3-1 twice in a row. Like, they're a good team. You can't look past Miami. They've got a lot of wings that can do some cool things. Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, those Andre Iguodala, those are all good
Derrick
defenders.
Jones Jr.
And the Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown can really score. Jaylen Brown repping the blue and gold from Cal, so gotta love him, but hate the Celtics. And even Gordon Hayward's gonna come back probably at some point. So it's definitely not. He can't just march his way there.
Yeah.
But I think he'll be smart.
It's not a cakewalk, but I'm saying he's the favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
absolutely.
that's
I trust them to.
And if this is, let's say, this is the 2022 Celtics, then it's a dogfight.
Yeah.
But right now, I think like they're just Tatum has to develop a little bit more to becoming like that.
Yeah. And each of these teams, I think
MVP candidate.
LeBron will hunt Jamal Murray down in the pick and roll to get that switch. And if they were to face the Celtics, LeBron would hunt down Kemba Walker. And if they face the Heat, LeBron would hunt down Tyler Hero. Like there's guys that LeBron is just so smart. I mean, he knows he's forgotten more about basketball than I'll ever hope to know. So I have so much faith in him and this team.
And we're gonna have an episode on LeBron. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, I mean, he is incredible.
And it's like, I mean, you think about it. It's not just LeBron in a old Kevin Love or a hurt Kyrie. It's like LeBron and then first team All-NBA Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And you haven't had 2 players on the All-NBA first team since Steve Nash and I think it was Stoudemire back in 06, 07.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been
They're
a
really
long
good.
time.
They're really
I
good.
mean, they have 2 of the top 5 players in basketball right now, and that's not something that you see.
Yeah, that's
It's
not
very
something you've
risky.
ever seen
You don't.
since like Shaq and Kobe. I guess maybe those Warriors teams,
Yeah,
but
Shaq and Kobe did it 3 times.
yeah. So let's see if the Lakers can start this series on the right foot, take advantage of a Nuggets team that will hopefully be kind of winded. Lakers have had plenty of time to prepare for them. The game is on Friday night. I can't believe we still have to wait 2 more days to get there, but we are looking forward to it. And with that, I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said before we wrap this up. Anything else, Josh?
My last take would be is that I know to all the listeners out there, I made some very polarizing changes in my decisions. I just forgot who LeBron James was.
Can't do that.
And I apologize for that for a moment. But again, I don't know. There's nothing to prove me wrong that he's not going to come out and just kill. Like this team, I think when you're a shark, you smell blood in the water. That blood is, after the Clippers lost, it's oozing. You don't have a Kawhi Leonard to be a LeBron stopper.
Well,
and I hope we're not wrong, like the Clippers.
2
weeks from now,
I'll tell you something. The Lakers will not. The Lakers will not blow a 3-1 lead. We're excited to see this. So, thank you for listening. Please check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and let's watch this. Let's go Lakers.
Let's go Lakers, baby. Episode 8's in the books. And tell us what you think in the comments. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.